watching. You are watching.
You're watching. You guys are watching.
You're watching. Watching Soulful Discussion.
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And so, how did our paths just cross right now? How did we meet today?
You approached me here at the park.
Mm-hmm. And what did I approach you about?
About interviewing me. About the reflexology, my mental health, and I don't remember the other.
Feet.
Oh, my feet.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. How could I forget that?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so, in terms of mental health, right? Are there any topics that you research, you follow closely?
No. Maybe would anxiety be part of mental health?
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah,
okay.
Anxiety, depression, things like that.
Well, that's why I'm here at the park, to get a little bit of tranquility, because I had a emotional breakdown.
I see.
My kids.
I see.
My older kids.
Okay.
And I've noticed since the quarantine, I have maybe developed some anxiety.
Okay. I see.
They want to put me on medication, but I don't want to be on no Prozac. I'm not depressed.
So it's actually good. So now I run into people all the time, and it's always meant for me to run into them. I don't know why, but like today I'm running into you. So the topic for today is anxiety and depression. What we're going through may be helpful for you in terms of you not having to be able to use those types of meds and stuff. Because the guy I was watching, when he's talking about DBT, it's the same thing for him. He's trying to find like natural ways to get past that. So like the information I provide to you,
smoking some weed.
Yeah, there you go. But this is even more of a natural way too, in terms of just like actions. So I'm going to share that with you today, and hopefully it's helpful for you. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. And then reflexology, you familiar with? Ever heard of it?
Reflexology. I guess the ology is the way your reflexes, how you reflex, right? Ology is not the study of, right?
Yeah,
no,
it's
the study of.
Yeah.
So I did 9 months on medical term.
I'll get a little bit more in depth into it, but you're sort of right. You're sort of right, but I'll get more in depth into it.
I'm headed in the right direction.
You're headed in the right direction. Okay, you might have took a wrong turn on the street. Yeah, there you go.
Reroute me.
Absolutely, but I'm going to share some information that might be helpful. Okay. So let's jump into the questions. Okay.
Okay.
What's something you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using the term weird for a reason. It could just be a hobby you have that other people might look at as strange or something like that.
Honestly, can't think of anything.
Okay, would you like some examples of some answers I've gotten before? So I had one girl who said that she likes to eat Takis, but she'll like suck all the chili off. There's another girl, actually a lady I just interviewed over here. She said that she likes the smell of gasoline. So not that she likes to go around like smell it, but like when she's at a gas station, that smell like is comforting to her. So stuff like that. Maybe you might have something quirky like that or something. We can come back to it, like if you're not thinking of anything.
Yeah, let's come back to that. The only thing what I'm going towards is olives on my fingers, but that was when I was a kid.
Okay.
Them off my fingers, but anything right like now, I can't.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come back to it then.
Okay.
Has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body or a body part before?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is that something you still deal with, or do you have a control over it now?
Oh yeah. I'm very.
You deal with it better now.
I'm very confident in myself.
How did you get to a point where you're able to deal with it better?
Praying, accepting myself for who I am, accepting myself.
Yeah.
And I had a surgical procedure. I had a tummy tuck, so that kind of boosted it up.
Boost
a
your
little
confidence
more.
a bit. Okay. Got you. Okay, if there was one thing you could change about yourself, and it doesn't have to be physical, what would it be? Somebody just gave you the power to change whatever you want.
Reading into certain things depending on what it is. So maybe overanalyzing certain things.
Okay. So you still would want to have it in certain areas, but just not with everything. You want to be able to maybe cut it down.
Where I'm going to utilize it at.
I got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. All right. How do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I love my feet. Okay. I think I have pretty feet.
Okay.
The only thing is this one seems to get more dry than this one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
They say because are you more dominant on this side?
That's why.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. You're right-sided. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever received any compliments before on your feet?
All the time.
Men, women?
I think both, but more men, of course.
What are your thoughts on receiving compliments from men about that? How do you feel about it?
Appreciate it. It tells me that a man appreciates a woman.
Pays attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
as long as there's nothing too over.
Yeah, the context, right? The
Yeah.
context is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of compliments in general, not just about your feet, but that you receive from men and women, is there a difference in how you feel about those compliments?
I mean, of course, you like when a man compliments you more than a woman, but
Okay.
I still take it as
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
So I asked that question. So somebody I interviewed before said that a lot of times women are taught to like be in competition with each other from a young age, and like
Yeah.
hate on each other. So when you get older and you receive compliments from other women, it comes across as more sincere and you hold it at a higher regard. Whereas men
Yeah.
sometimes can give you compliments just for something in return. Is that
Yeah.
something you agree with? Or?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with
So
that.
that's why I asked that question. Like, is there a difference how you feel about it? Like in terms
I
of
mean,
that?
I'm grateful and I appreciate, because I'm blessed.
Yeah, absolutely. What would your I don't know what your status is now in terms of your dating or anything like that.
Single.
Okay, what would your thoughts be if you started dating someone who's into feet? How would you feel about that?
Make sure you rub my feet every day
Okay.
or every night.
So you're for it, as long as I'm getting foot massages. All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll rub his feet as long as they look nice, but yeah, I like my feet rubbed.
Absolutely. Okay. When you first start dating someone, when is the appropriate time for you two to talk about like things you're into?
I mean, things that we're into right away, because that's starting conversation and
Dialogue,
just getting to know each other.
Absolutely.
I
Well, because
think
I get
right-
different reactions. So I get some people who are like, they want to know right away. Some people who are like,
Want to know? Depends what they want to know right away.
yeah. Well, I'm talking about the stuff you're into. So intimacy.
Oh.
Yeah. When do you think you guys should discuss that? When's the appropriate time? to talk
Oh,
about
not right away, because
Okay.
that's just gonna make me think that this is all you want, and I'm not gonna be no one's toy.
So do you think maybe like after a few dates, you're feeling
Maybe
them?
a few dates, yeah, or just let it
Natural, let it flow?
natural, yeah.
Okay.
There's no need
Cool.
to talk about it.
Cool. How often do you get pedicures?
Huh?
How often do you get pedicures?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks? Have you ever heard of medical pedicures before?
No.
Okay, so there's a specialist you can go see that basically, and it's different from a podiatrist, right? But this person specializes in like telling you if your toes are aligned correctly, if your nails are growing the right way.
Okay.
They make sure like how you said one foot's drier than the other, they can like help you with that in terms of letting you know why. And yeah, they do all the work there for you around the clock. So what are your thoughts on that? You said you never heard of it before. Would that be something you would try? Or?
I don't know.
You don't, maybe? You don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'll be open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
I mean,
not?
if it's helpful, right? Because it's just
Yeah.
like your
gonna help
body and
me.
everything is like a car, right? Like you got to hold up the maintenance if you want it to run correctly, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
How often do you wear open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops, things like that?
Most of the time, except when it's cold,
Okay.
winter.
Okay.
But always wearing sandals. Yeah.
Gotcha. How often do you go barefoot?
Oh, hardly. I don't know.
You ever heard of
I don't even
grounding,
like-
earthing?
Huh?
You ever heard of grounding or earthing?
No.
Yeah, so it's for like people who feel like when their feet are touching like grass or the earth, they get energy back from that runs throughout their whole body. It's like they feel the most at one with like earth. And
Oh, no.
It's like a meditation practice basically.
Never heard of that.
Really? Okay. Yeah, it's for people like if you ever want to meditate or something like that's a practice that people do. Cool.
Okay.
And so now can we see what your feet look like up close? Can I get you to let's put them up here?
My feet,
And what size do you wear?
7.5.
7.5. Does it vary on the type of shoe?
7.5. But for the
Seven,
most part,
7.5.
7.5.
Okay, cool. Extend your feet out. And there you go.
Okay.
And how are you feeling about this process? We've done,
Extending my
leave them out.
feet?
Yeah, we're going to do a couple more exercises. But how are you feeling about this process? We're going through this. I'm asking you some questions. We're looking at your feet now.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. What do you mean by interesting? Give me a feeling that's attached to that.
I've never been in this
Situation before. Okay.
so yeah.
Let me give you the mental health, why I got started with this. Okay, so have you ever heard
You
of
still
DBT?
need my feet?
Yeah, leave them out. We're going to go through a couple more exercises. So, have you ever heard of DBT before?
No.
So it's a dialectical behavior therapy. So it's for people who suffer from anxiety, depression, people who like tend to not live in the moment, like they overthink situations they're presented with. So, for example, let's say you have a fear of approaching strangers, right? You're definitely afraid of that. Therapists would prescribe for you to go out and put yourself in that situation, like go approach strangers over and over again, right? Exposure therapy. They want you to get used to that uncomfortable urge that comes along with it and cope with it, right? Get used to that feeling. And when you're in that moment and you start to feel that way, you basically do a self-assessment, ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen in this situation, right? What's the absolute worst thing? And if there's not anything that could be a threat to your life or safety, you should proceed, do the opposite of what you're feeling, because you can experience like good events, good moments, things like that. What are your thoughts about that? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So like when you were telling me earlier, you're dealing with some of
Basically
that
getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, out of your comfort zone. So like when you're telling me you're dealing with that a little bit, sometimes like asking yourself those questions, what's the worst that's happening in this situation, could be helpful for you, as opposed to, like you said, being on the Prozac and things like that.
Yeah.
Things that are going to affect you, you know, your motor skills and things like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Now let's talk about reflexology. Okay, so now reflexology deals with the different pressure points you have in your hands and your feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have all these different like nerve endings and pressure points that correlate back to other parts of your body. So through massage, acupuncture, acupressure, you can actually alleviate stress and tension throughout your body. You familiar with that, or is this like a refresher?
I was getting massages a couple months ago and I stopped.
Okay.
I was getting like once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever deal with migraines or anything like that?
I used to. I haven't really had migraines.
Okay.
I used to.
You know that there's a portion of your foot you can massage to like alleviate that tension you feel
Can
from
you
that?
show me? No, just kidding.
Yeah, I can show you. I can point it
No,
out
just
for you.
kidding.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
They say ones are like right here.
Well, because it's
right
head,
here.
so right head, and then as you go down, it's like neck, shoulders, and then down here, every area is called a zone. You can actually pull up a chart that's online, and it'll show you exactly where that area is. All right. So now, with that being said, how ticklish are you?
I'm ticklish.
Scale of 1 to 10.
6, 7.
6 or 7. Can we test it on camera? Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. We're gonna start with the right, and I want you to tell me exactly where it's more ticklish at, like, and how bad. Okay. So you're right dominant. You told me that before, right? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and is it right towards the top? The more ticklish?
Yeah.
Right here?
Right towards the top.
Now we're gonna try the left. Tell me if it's more ticklish on this one or if it was the right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right away.
This was more ticklish.
Right away. Okay. Hold on. Now try to hold in there for me for about 5 seconds. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and is it all the way through your whole foot?
Yeah, but this one, it's not.
This one is not. Now I want you to
try it
something.
again.
I want you to try something for. Oh yeah. Let's try it again. This one's not as much, but this one like throughout the whole foot. Now I want you to try something for me. You tell me if it's more or less ticklish when I do this. Okay. Wiggle your toes here and tell me, do you feel it less?
Less.
Okay. Now try here. Same thing. Wiggle. Less. Do you know why?
Why?
So basically, when your foot's in motion, because it's moving like that, you got it doing this. It can't pick up on the sensation that's happening, like from me trying to tickle it. So like, if you ever go get pedicures and you're like, you deal with that a lot, like just kind of do this a little bit. It'll kind of alleviate some of that, ticklishness that you feel. Cool. Now put your feet back together, and we're gonna have you do a couple exercises. This is test if you have any ligament or bone damage. Okay. I need you to bend your toes over, make a fist. Tell me if you feel any pain.
Bend over.
Like this, like make a fist, like yeah.
Oh.
Pain or discomfort from that? Do you feel anything? Relax. Was that easy to do?
Yeah.
Okay, spread your toes and tell me if that's easy to do. Is it painful? Anything like that?
It's easy.
Relax. Wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds and tell me if you feel anything. Pretty easy?
Yeah.
Okay. So I started doing that because I interviewed a lady before. She bent her toes over. She felt a sharp pain across her big toe. She had actually stumped her toe the week before and like thought nothing was wrong, but she probably had some ligament damage or possibly broken a bone. So that's why I do that. So let's get to the end of the interview.
Okay.
Right? In terms of my approach, when I walked
my
up.
feet like
No,
this?
you're good. You're good. In terms of my approach, when I walked up, how was my approach? Was it good? Was it bad? Something I can work on?
Caught me off guard.
Okay, caught you off guard. But you don't know me, so that.
Yeah.
But was it good or
what
bad?
What want to interview?
Yeah.
Am I going to be on TV?
Yeah. Well, yeah, YouTube TV.
Be
Yeah.
discovered.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
Okay.
In terms of the interview from start to finish, right? Beginning to end, could you see how everything was going in line? Did it make sense to you? Did you learn anything new from the interview?
Bless you. What I learned was getting out of my comfort zone. So what I'm, like you said, your fears to approach people will start approaching people more.
DBT, right? Yeah.
What is it again?
DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy.
Dialectical
Behavioral therapy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so last thing I have everybody do that they do the interview from a mental health standpoint. Maybe a life lesson you learned, some wise words of wisdom you can say to my channel that could be helpful to them.
Hi guys. Have faith.
Have faith.
Yeah.
Okay. Simple.
Hi guys.
But strong. Very strong.
Yeah.
Like that. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time to come through, do the interview.
Good luck to you with what wherever this journey takes
Absolutely. I'm going to give you the information. That way you can view it when the time comes, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And you have a great one, okay?
Likewise. Thank you.